also things are much slower and not as hectic as back home, which I think is really nice. It's good for the soul. We're from Sweden, and I have 3 kids, a boy and 2 girls, and a wife. And we came here about 3 months ago to Mauritius, and yeah, back home we were just doing the normal thing, school and work, and kind of living for the weekends, because that's the only time you have time really for different things. So I've been for quite some time looking for a place to kind of experience something else, and to be able to try to homeschool the kids, just to see how that experience would be, and also get a different climate than Sweden. Sweden is quite cold and dark, and I usually freeze like half of the year. I'm just cold constantly. So I've been looking for a place, and May last year I just stumbled upon Mauritius. We've been looking at Spain and Portugal and a lot of different countries with warmer climate. And when I started reading about it and checking out the visa options and how things can be done, everything just fell into place, and it seemed like a beautiful place. We hadn't been here before we kind of decided to move, but yeah, so far so great. Okay, yeah. So I had Smart Traveler help me with the visa, which was, I realize now afterwards, a really great thing and really good, because on the web page it said the premium visa would take 48 hours, but that was not the case. And even with the help of Smart Traveler, which I know was much more efficient than if I would have done it myself, it took more than 2 months. And I also have contact with a few other people applying for visas on their own. And for them it has gone almost 3 months and still no visa. I've been here with the resident visa as well. So it's been a long process, but for me it hasn't been that hard, because Smart Traveler obviously did all the hard work, so to speak. And I just kind of gave them the information and the papers needed and everything. So the main thing for me, I think, is that I'm constantly warm now instead of constantly cold, which is for me a great thing, I think. I was thinking maybe it would be too warm. Maybe the sun would be too much for me, because I'm very fair skinned and I get burned very easily. But it's actually been great. I'm loving the climate. I'm loving the environment and the nice things to see, the mountains, the nature is very different from Sweden, and it's really beautiful and lovely to see, so that's been amazing. Also the beaches, obviously, swimming in the ocean, experiencing all those things, snorkeling, and all this is really amazing, I think. And it's not available back home very easily. You have to really take a vacation trip to do it, and here we can do it every weekend if we want to, so that's really nice. Another thing, I guess back home everything is very straightforward, very strict, very like, here are the rules, this is how we do it, and everything works out nicely. You get everything you expected, and everything is as you expect all the time. Here things change all the time. You come to a place and expect something and it's very different, or this is not available, you can't buy this thing, or you can't really order online very easily. And so it's a different life that I think is better, because you focus on the things that really matters and really kind of makes you feel good, instead of just trying to be in your box and do your things and follow the stream, so to speak. So I really like it. It's been both good and not so good. Obviously they had to leave their friends back home. You can't really bring friends when you move, which is sad, and that's the hardest part, I think, for them. They really miss their friends, especially the oldest. But obviously it's a great experience for them as well. They are also having a really nice time with the beach, the ocean, and different natural experience the nature of Mauritius and everything, so it's been really nice in that sense. Also, we have a lot more time as a family since we're homeschooling and everything. The kids have, I think, about 5 hours more spare time than back home, and they accomplish the same things basically. And I have 3.5 hours more than I did back home, free time to spend with the family, to help out with homeschooling, whatever it could be. So for the kids, I think it's nice for them that we are spending more time as a family. We're doing a lot more things together, so that's really good. But yes, they miss their friends. But I think also for them, it's really good to experience a totally different life. We go to church, for example, and there we have met a lot of families, a lot of kids, but it's not as often, and you don't get as much contact as you would with school, for example, if they would meet kids every day, the same kids, and create relationships with them. So that has been definitely a challenge that we would have to put more effort into to improve on that area. I think nature is amazing. Just being able to enjoy nature and these things that I mentioned before as well. Also, I think people are really, really nice. We were warned about traffic before getting here. It's like, in Sweden, traffic is super organized. It's like very, it's very different from here. But once I got here and started driving, obviously the different side of the road, so that was a bit strange and crazy in the beginning. But when I started driving, yes, traffic is a bit unorganized and it's a bit crazy. People do whatever they want. They stop in the middle of the street to talk to their friend on the other side of the street. So everyone just have to stop and kind of, okay, that's fun, good. And people don't really, there's a honking horn here and there, but they don't really mind. And people are really nice in traffic, which is a difference from most countries, I think. They're like, here, go past me, or yes, here, come along, I'll stop here, you can go. And it's really nice, I think. So people in general are really nice. We're getting a lot of help and a lot of support. Obviously, people see that we are lost a lot of times in Port Louis or wherever it could be. They see, oh, these guys don't really know what they're up to. So they come up to us and help us, and when we have questions and ask people, everyone's super nice. So that's a really nice thing. Also, things are much slower and not as hectic as back home, which I think is really nice. It's good for the soul, I would say, to just relax a lot more and take things slower and not be stressed about every little thing, basically, having to be in a certain way. So I think those are my favorite things. The weather, definitely the weather, including the rain and cyclones. It's great. It's refreshing. Yeah. I guess a little bit. There's a lot of expats, and we met quite a few. We're in different communities where people kind of gather and share their experiences and how it is. And it's a really nice way to meet new people, I think, that are also in a new place with new experiences. Some have been here longer, some shorter. You can share and help each other out. You get a lot of new good friends, actually, I would say. We've got a lot of good friends already in just the 3 months we've been here. And you meet really nice people from that live here permanently and are here for a few years or shorter. So yeah, it's a really good experience being an expat in Mauritius, I think. So I have a few companies I work for and in Sweden, and I try to work more Swedish hours, but I also work less hours than I did back home. So I start working at 11 in the Mauritius time, and I usually end work at 6. So I work 11 to 6. And it works out quite nicely, I think, but it really depends on the company you work for and what kind of work you do, I would imagine. But for me, it works out really good, and I can be flexible as well if I need to work in the evening sometimes. Sometimes we have big migrations of customers doing that we need to do at night. So then I work at night, and sometimes we want to go do a thing during the day, so then I switch my hours as well. So it's really been helpful and a big blessing to me to have these companies to work for, that I can be so flexible. I don't think it would have worked out otherwise, so just everything kind of fell into place with work and everything else, so it's been really nice. So you have to kind of be ready for that kind of different life. I guess you could also hire help to do things for you and make things easier, but I think you have to be ready for a normal life, so to speak, that is a bit harder than most places in Europe, I think, for example, or the US. But I would also say that the experience is really nice, and with all the nice people and the nice, like, everything is so great. So I think it's definitely worth giving it a shot, but yeah, it shouldn't be expected to be like a paradise life every day. But if you're just kind of understanding of, yes, some things are not as easy, some things are more expensive, some things are cheaper, and just enjoy what the island has to offer, I think it's a wonderful thing.